like movement can be fun. It can be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be punishment. And it just completely transformed my like brain on it. My biggest like piece of advice there is just like movement doesn't have to be for society because like people are telling you need to lose weight. Like just do it because it feels good. And that's what really shifted my brain chemistry around it.
Well, hi, Andrea. Welcome to Morning Waltz podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm really excited as well.
Good. Well, I want to just know about who you are. I've discovered your videos and like your shut the fuck up content just makes me laugh hysterically. But let's get into before. Where did you grow up? What's your story?
Yeah, so I'm actually from in a small town south of Boston, Canton, Massachusetts, and I grew up, just like in a small town. And then I went to school in Colorado, Boulder, which was when Boulder, Colorado, which is when I kind of like branched out and I studied communication and elementary education. I was a teacher for a little bit. I've worked in administrative work for my dad's manufacturing company. And like, I was always in love with posting like online, like it just kind of was something I enjoyed. And then it started to really take off in like April 2024. And now it's crazy. Like I have a management team. It's my full-time job. I work with a lot of awesome brands and it's just turned into like a life that I never thought I'd get. And it's been so much fun. My favorite part definitely is like building a community though. I feel like I have a really awesome community. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like a normal gal. I like comedy. I like mental health advocacy, making people feel seen and heard. I love dogs. But yeah, I feel like I've lived a lot of different lives and now this is one of my favorite chapters, definitely.
What inspired you? Have you always had that creative side to you where you've always been interested in comedy and just kind of where did that originate from?
I definitely have always had a creative side. I like love art and like painting little side hustles, but the comedy, it's funny. Like I didn't even consider it comedy. It was more just me like ranting about life. But I think that's what people enjoyed is that it was like relatable things that people may not say online, but like, hey, this girl's saying exactly what we're thinking. So then I just kept running with it and it ended up building this huge following. And it's funny because like I started as the shut the fuck up girl, but I feel like it's grown into so much more. But that is where it began, truly. So I love that. And I love when people come up to me on the street and they'll be like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, that's amazing.
When was the first time it happened for you that you're like, holy shit?
Yeah. I don't even remember. I think it was more when I moved to New York, just like someone walking down the street was like, oh, I follow you. Or like just yesterday, someone goes, Shaggy, my dog. And I looked at her and I didn't know who she was. And I go, wait, how do you know his name? And she goes, I follow you. And I was like, oh, okay. I forgot that's part of my life. So that was kind of cool.
I imagine that is, you get a lot of positive feedback. How about any of the negative and the comments? Because that's something that's always been, I'm so afraid to put myself out there. So how do you, what is that like?
I think that I wasn't always this way. I definitely used to care a lot of like what people were saying, but I think I reached a certain point early on in 2024 where I was just like, don't read every comment. And remember that these people don't know you. Like I'm putting my life online, but they're still only getting a part of my life. And I think the most hurtful ones are when it comes for like body image and things that I've worked on really hard. So I just remind myself like, if they're going to make a comment about my body, my weight, my looks, that's their issue. I've had people, be like, care about like certain decisions or like things I post about. And I just remind myself like everyone has a right to their opinion and I can't let other people control the narrative. Like I'm the one that knows what's going on. But it is a mental game. It's definitely a mental game. Sometimes I'll read a comment and be like, what? But then I have to be like, don't react.
It is amazing what people can say behind the screen. It's
Hmm.
awful. I'm like, how are there so many awful people that
I
just
know.
I mean,
And
like
honestly, they always have like no profile picture or like 3 followers. I'm like, did you just make this account to like hate on me?
I love the exposing of the comments of like taking the
Yeah,
screenshot and putting those people on blast.
I know. Those are funny.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about the mental health because you are also a big advocate and you're also very outspoken about mental health and making sure that you're doing the things to be proactive about your own. So, are you open to sharing about your mental health journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I I kind of like say the starting point was 2016, but I think I dealt with it in childhood too. But 2016, I was in college and it was my first battle of like depression and anxiety. And I did the route of like talk therapy and medication, and it helped for a little bit. But by 2022, I was living back at home with my parents. I was teaching, but I wasn't really feeling very fulfilled, and I just in like a deep depression. And I just kind of cracked one day and was like, said to my mom and dad, like, I need help, like more than, talk therapy and like medication. So they were amazing, and they found like residential treatment was a thing where you can like go away. I didn't even know that it existed. And it was really hard to find a bed in a hospital. They didn't find one anywhere local. I actually had to go to Ohio. And this is kind of the point that like I consider saved my life, because it was like 2 months I was, in this, it was in a hospital, but it was residential treatment. So they make it seem kind of like homier than a hospital bed setting. Um, but I'm there like every day going to group classes, independent classes. Like my only job was just to work on myself. And I learned a lot. I uncovered like certain traumas from childhood, like certain triggers and things. And those therapists and psychiatrists and everyone like just really changed my outlook and perspective. But I will say it wasn't easy coming home. Like I feel like I didn't really get a handle on things till like 2023, 2024. And now I feel like more of an advocate to be like, hey, I know how bad it was, like, and how bad it can be. And I want to show people that you can get out of it. Like, because there's no worse feeling than when you're in it. You're like, I can't get out of this. I was dealing with a lot of suicidal ideation, and I just like, I think of that now, and it's like that version of me would be so honestly like amazed at how far I've come, because there was a time where I didn't want to exist, and now I'm like telling people like keep going, and that's definitely like a passion work for me. Like I love being open about it, because you never know who's going to stumble across my account and like see a post. So that's kind of what drives me to share, because I know it's not easy for everyone to share either. So I try to just be open.
I think that that's also one of the things that makes you that you have built this following because there are so many people that feel like they don't have a way out, that they have these feelings. And sometimes, I mean, I can imagine. So I've struggled with depression and anxiety and have had those moments of really high highs and low lows. And, knowing that you feel this way and you're like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? Why am I feeling this
Mhm.
way? And I think that the more people are outspoken about it now, it's an opportunity to help somebody who doesn't necessarily feel like they have anywhere to turn.
Exactly. And the messages I've received from strangers, like this post of yours, and it'll be like from 6 months ago, and they'll send it to me and be like, this post like just popped up for me at the right time. And like that just means so much to me, that like my content can reach someone when they need it. I think that that's really cool. And I definitely have goals. Like I would love to continue to speak openly. I did my first speech this summer at like a mental health walk. I just think the more people that are willing to talk about it should, for those who, are a little on the quieter side and don't really want to.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a really strong support system and people in your corner too from your family.
Yes, I'm so lucky. My family, like, they're my best friends. I have two older brothers and my mom and dad, and then a sister in law who's basically like a sister. So I'm so lucky, and I know that not everyone has that either. So I try to be sensitive to that because it can be hard. People can really feel like they're alone on an island, like without support.
Yeah. But you give them that support. You're
Oh,
giving
thank
others
you.
that. I saw that you did that, and then when I saw that you posted pictures with I think it was your mom. It was in one of the pictures and for the walk, and I was just like, that's awesome that you can you go back and you do something like this and you have people who are supportive, because there is such a stigma too around mental health. And I know, I come from a very small town in northeastern PA, and it's like, you don't need medication, you don't need this.
Yeah.
It's just like, but maybe if I had all those things would
Yeah,
be a lot different. So
exactly.
yeah,
Everyone's journey is different, truly, with mental health. Like there's no right or wrong way to go about it.
I 100% agree. And it's not one size fits all.
I agree.
When did you, now you mentioned 2023, 2024, you kind of really started to feel, that you were moving in a positive direction, you were feeling good. What was happening around that time?
I think just honestly, like a lot of focus on myself and work. And when I started to take off with social media, I was like finally doing something that I really enjoyed. I've never felt like a 9 to 5 type person. I kind of like being on the go. I love creating. I love editing videos. I just feel like I'm at this point in my life too where I'm only really surrounding myself with people that are on the same like wavelength as me, and just like we support each other, and like it's just true friendships or true family relationships. Um, and I think also a big change for me moving to New York in February of this year was it was truly like life changing. Like the setting change, everything. It just created this like this shift. And also like something that I had kind of like issues with, like with my body and self-image growing up, was working out. And I've now finally found this like healthy regimen for me that works with the gym, and it's helping me mentally so much. And I just feel like I've taken that part of my life back. So when I think of things that like have caused this shift in joy and happiness and like loving my life again, it's actually a big part of it has been movement, and just doing it not because I want to like lose weight or the numbers on the scale. It's just really about feeling good, and it's like been very helpful.
Yeah. I want to talk to you of that, because I think it's not just the emotional and getting your brain stronger. It's also that physical side of mental health, and whether it's just getting out of the house for 10 minutes and taking a walk, or just
Exactly.
standing aside and breathing. I'd love to know a little bit more about that physical journey for you.
Yeah. I mean, I have this memory of like being 10 years old and just like feeling uncomfortable in my body, like the body image issues and feeling like I was always bigger, and like plus size just grew as I was growing up. So it was like embedded for me at a really young age. And then I've struggled with always thinking that movement was punishment and like punishing myself by working out. And I really don't know if it's because I just moved to New York, but when I moved to New York, my sister-in-law was like, come to a Pilates class with me. Like, you might like it. And it just created this like different mindset for me of like, like movement can be fun. It can be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be punishment. And it just completely transformed my like brain on it, because almost 2 decades, almost like 3 decades, because I just turned 30, of just like bullying myself about my weight. And now I'm at this point where like I just like feeling stronger and going to the gym because it makes me feel good. So it's been a long ride, but I don't know, like if anyone's like listening to this, I feel like my biggest like piece of advice there is just like movement doesn't have to be for society because like people are telling you need to lose weight. Like just do it because it feels good. And that's what really shifted my brain chemistry around it.
So I turned 41 in May, and as you get older, the feelings of giving less, for lack of better words, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think similar. I grew up where it's Like, I've always struggled with my weight, and I'd always been told, like, oh, if you'll never be on TV because you're too fat, or you're this or you're that. And it's like, you internalize that. And
Yes.
I mean, I'm saying I'm talking about community, but like, it's easy to internalize that. And especially
Yeah.
when you're at an impressionable young age. And then, like, as you start getting older and you find more and more of yourself and you become comfortable with that, I think there's such a, it becomes really empowering to be like, I don't care what you have to
E-
say.
exactly. It really does. It's like that fuck you attitude. It just like, it's nice. It creates confidence, honestly.
It does. It does. And it when you have those moments, you're just like, wow, everything that I've been doing and the work that I've been doing, just has been like, you see the payoff in that, and the payoff of the therapy and the movement and all of those things.
Exactly. 100%.
Where do you see with the content creation going? Where would you like to be? And I'm coming from a very corporate place right now of the, like, the 30, 60, 90.
Yeah, no, I think about it all the time because content creation. I mean, it's not super reliable. Like, you have to hope that like brand deals come in because that's like the most lucrative form of income. Like, there's so many avenues that you can make money through social media. But like long term, I would love to, I have big dreams, but like just taking it to the next level where it's not always just like sitting behind a camera, but maybe going on like a red carpet and like interviewing someone, or like I've seen other influencers or like content creators kind of grow their brand through other things. Like I just see a bunch of people doing a bunch of different things, and it always inspires me. So I don't really know where I'll end up, but I do firmly believe that like what I'm doing right now is going to open some type of door, whether it's like a career wise move or, maybe it is I go back to like a real world job, but it could be through a connection of my social media. So I don't know. I definitely want to keep growing it. Like, I have goals of like hitting 1 million followers on each platform. And like, I feel like once you hit 1 million, you can kind of take it even further. So I don't know. We'll see, but that's kind of my hopes and dreams.
Well, I think you're doing an amazing job. I mean, every day you're putting yourself out there and you're doing it and you're building that community, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Who
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it.
We all have to work, we all have to earn a living, but it's hard to know if you're sitting at a desk every day for 40 hours a week and knowing, like, physically this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So to take that brave step to walk away is amazing, and what you're doing is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I told myself if I didn't try, then I would regret it. So every day I just wake up and try to work towards growing the platform.
Who inspires you, and what content creators or authors or who inspires you?
Oh gosh, this is such a good question. It's funny, like I follow a lot of different types of people. Like, one of the ones from the beginning, and I don't know if these are super, like, I mean, I feel like they're well known to me, but like Anna Sitar she's like very much just like post how I like to post, just openly. Every day is a different thing. I really like Hello Teffy. That's her username. She's very like just powerful, and she inspires me because she's on a lot of like red carpets lately, and she does like interviews, and she started a podcast, and I'm like, you go girl, like she's killing it. Remy Bader is someone that I really relate to with like her whole entire like weight loss journey and just like everything she's ever posted since 2020. I'm like, girl, I relate. But then there's other creators that just make me laugh. Like, and it's funny, I only know their usernames. But his username is like at Henry. And he's just this like guy who is just completely himself. He's so funny. But then like on a deeper level, I feel like Jay Shetty, I really love him. Some of Mel Robbins stuff that she posts, I really like.
And
I don't know,
she's a fellow New Englander, I believe.
Is she?
I think she lives in Vermont or Massachusetts or something.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I also really, there's two New England content creators, Ian Brownhill. He was the first one that got me on his podcast. Like, and he's just always been like, I call him like my internet dad. He just always looks out for me and his content's great. And then there's Nikki Marie Unplugged, who's another New England gal, and she's just great. She actually invited me on her podcast too. So I'm excited for that. I feel like podcasts are so great. Like, who knows, maybe one day I'll have one as well. But I love my algorithm right now. It gives me what I want, like of good people that just make me laugh. They're real, down to earth.
Yeah. It's funny. There's so many that there's people that I follow. And then because I follow them, I see a lot of really cool content and I'll go to like them. And sometimes I see your name because I follow you.
Oh,
And
I love
like, I
that.
don't know if it's just because I do follow you and then I see a lot of the same things. You're showing me a lot of the cool things I'm following. But yeah, I actually had the episode that released last week was with this dating coach, Erica Etten, and she's
Okay.
a little nudge is her, and her whole platform is about coaching people with online dating.
Ooh,
It has like a no nonsense, real, like just very direct, straightforward approach to it. And I love her.
that's awesome. I love that. I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, she was really great. Um, are you speaking of dating? Are you dating in New York, and how is that?
It's so funny that you bring this up because I definitely took like a long hiatus from dating when I was just like working on myself and moving here. The dating apps are pretty rough. I usually just mainly use Hinge and haven't had many successes. But it's funny that you bring this up because I don't want to get too into it because I literally just met this person. But last night I kind of put myself out there at a bar with one of my friends and he actually worked there. And we ended up like talking the whole night and it was just like a great experience. And I was like, wow, okay, Andrea, like you can meet people in person. It's like, it feels hard to, like, be like, hey, like, what's your name? Or like, hey, it started with, I think he recommended a certain wine on the menu. But then we ended up having like so much in common and I'm actually going to one of his art shows later today. So it's cool. You just never know who you're going to meet. And like, who knows, we could end up just being friends, but it was cool. I think New York, it has a lot of opportunity of meeting really awesome, diverse people. And my dating life has been very non-existent. So we'll see what happens here.
I mean, that's awesome that you met somebody in real life in the wild. It's amazing.
Yes, that's what I said to my friend. I'm like, even just like the fact that I put myself out there is like a win, like to me, because even though I'm pretty extroverted, I can be pretty shy and introverted sometimes too. So it was good. It proved to me too that like people aren't as scary as you think they are.
Yeah. Do you mind me, like, if somebody were listening to this and they're like, oh, I could never go up to somebody and like start talking to them, what would your advice to them be?
My advice, honestly, is just to be confident about it because I was a little nervous and my friend gave me kind of like a boost and she was like, just go for it. Like you have nothing to lose. And it's true. Like the worst that could happen is they're like not interested, but at least you tried. And I think just confidence is key, the way you go about it and the way you like carry yourself
Yeah,
and your energy.
I agree. I lived in LA so went to school in Philly, moved to LA, and I was out there for 13 years. And I had so much fun dating in LA and a serious relationship or two that unfortunately didn't turn into anything. But when you're in a city that you're exposed to so many different people, and I think like I've never lived in New York, so I just imagine that there's probably it has that same vibe of LA where you can meet so many people from different walks of life. And
Exactly.
um, are you somebody that, I know there's I see a lot, there's a push for women going out and having dinner by themselves. And like, do you do those kind of things? Are you somebody who will go and sit and have dinner at a bar and
I've taken myself out to like a couple like brunches or like a coffee date, but I am going on a trip to Ireland next week, which is like my big 30th birthday gift to myself. I'm doing a solo trip a week in Ireland, like driving the West Coast. So that's going to be a really big deal for me. I think it's going to be a lot of fun content and a lot of just like excitement and fun for me. And But yeah, I like to do things alone. I'm very independent, and I don't mind being alone. So even if it's just like going to the dog park alone or grabbing a coffee or um, I really don't mind it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I sometimes it's like, wait, you want to go to dinner with me? No.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like
um,
I'd rather do that alone.
yeah, like, oh, I have to talk to you? No, I'm kidding. Um, so, in terms of what else you like to do, you've mentioned the comedy. What are some of your other hobbies and things that you stay busy? I mean, sound like you're very busy. You've got a full life, but
Yeah,
any unique hobbies or anything?
I do, and I've kind of fallen off from it, so it's still inspiring me a little bit to pull out the paints again. But when I was in treatment, I really reconnected with like my art side and like acrylic painting, watercolor, collaging, and I haven't done it in a while. I have like a box of it in my closet actually. So I think it's a matter of just getting it back out there. But I do really like art. And then, music. I love going for a walk, listening to music. My dog is a huge hobby of mine in a way because we're just always together. Like I love taking him to the park and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say art is like one of my main hobbies. And then truly, like I know it's my job, but I love creating like content and like taking photos and videos. So that's a fun little thing for me to do every day.
Yeah. Well, you've mentioned dogs and your love for dogs. Um, did you recently adopt a new dog?
I did. So it was really, really hard, but I had to put down my like soul dog, Scooby. And like, honestly, if I get into it, I'll start crying, but just, there was just a reason, like his aggression, his reactivity. It was just a hard decision to make, but I did have to put him down. It broke my heart like into a million pieces and definitely challenged my mental health. And I was so like lonely and because they're just gone and like the apartment was so empty. And I was like scrolling and looking at Muddy Paws Rescue in New York. And I just saw this dog and it looked like Scooby. And I was like, I'm just going to go to the adoption event. Like, we'll see. And I just fell in love with him. So like literally less than a week later, I adopted another dog. And circling back to hate comments and controversy, a lot of people had a lot of mean things to say about that. But I think people who truly know me like knew that I had so much love to give. And it was like, why not save another puppy's life? But yeah, I love dogs. Being a single woman, like I just love having him around. I love coming home to him and like, it gets me going. And honestly, it's huge on my mental health. Like it gets me out walking every day. I've met people at the dog park because of him. And it's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm a big dog lover.
And I'm sorry if you said this. What's your new dog's name?
Shaggy. So it was in honor of Scooby. I named him Shaggy. Kept it in the Scooby-Doo family.
I love it. I love it. Our dogs are just, I mean, animals in general, but there's something so special about dogs. My soul dog is sitting next to me, and I am crossing
Oh.
my fingers and my toes that he doesn't see something that he starts barking. I rescued him. I fostered with a rescue in LA, and I look at him, and he just went to the vet, and they're like, he's healthy. But then there's that part of me that's always like,
I know.
yeah.
I know. It's so sad their lifespans aren't as long as ours. Like, it's so hard.
Yeah. I think the greatest heartbreak of my life is going to be this dog.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talked briefly about this earlier about kind of where you see yourself going. In terms of the content creation, do you have any? I guess before I ask this question with the shut the fuck up skit, did you anticipate that was kind of going to be an ongoing series that you did?
No, I did that before going into work. By lunchtime, it had like 12 million views. And I was like, I've never gotten this many views before. Like, what's going on? But I think the smartest thing I did was I kept pushing it out. Like, I kept making it into a series. And it's still funny because, like, to be honest with you, like, it's been over a year. I'm kind of like, I feel like I've done every scenario, but people will still DM me and be like, we need a new Shut the Fuck Up video. And it just makes me laugh that that's kind of how it all started. And I do want to like push myself to, I think this Ireland trip is going to be really cool for pushing like my more vlog style videos out, and like hopefully people will like that. I'm excited for that.
I think that that's an exciting thing too about your platform, is that sharing things that you're doing, going on a trip like this. I don't know if that's an avenue you want to continue to take and be the like somebody who does travel. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I am always engaged with people who do the travel stuff.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like I'm excited because I haven't really posted content like that before. So it'll be like a new little chapter.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for you for all of it. And I hope to see and continue to see really great things from you, because you make me laugh. I'm like,
Oh, thank you. I know. We'll stay connected. I'm definitely gonna follow you back.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course. It was seriously so nice to meet you. Like this was a really enjoyable conversation, and I loved your questions.
Enjoy the art show. Enjoy your trip to Ireland. Happy 30th birthday.
Thank
And I
you.
look forward to staying in touch.